There is a drawer inside me where the unsent letters live, full of every truth I carry but was never brave enough to give. Not because the words weren't there, they were always there, but because the door had closed before I learned to bear what I actually needed you to finally hear. And now the only reader of these letters disappears back into silence, back into the drawer. The letters never sent because you're not there anymore. The first one starts in anger, as most honest letters do. 3 paragraphs of everything I swallowed down for you. The words I swapped for silence in the rooms where we were breaking. Every sentence I restructured to protect what we were making. At the cost of what I needed, at the expense of being known. Every letter in that drawer is a truth I didn't own. Out loud when it couldn't matter, out loud when you were near. I drafted it in private and then folded it in fear. The collection grew in darkness while the truth sat on the floor. Between us, always between us, neither brave enough for more. Now I hold the finished letters in a hand with nowhere to send. Every word perfectly written, every sentence has its end. But the address never answers, and the door no longer stands. So the letters stay undelivered in my quietly shaking hands. Letters I never sent, words I never meant to hold. Letters I never sent, stories that were never told. Every truth I carefully folded, every feeling left unread. Letters I never sent, now I read them here instead. To the silence, to the memory, to the version of you that stays. Letters I never sent echo through the empty space. The second letter softer, written somewhere in the middle. When the anger found its bottom and the heart became the riddle. It says, I think I understand now why you moved the way you did. I was asking for a version that the moment never lived. Not from coldness, not from absence, but from everything before. All the things that shaped the limits of the love we reached the shore. The third one is the hardest because it starts with my own name. It says the things I should have changed and the ways I played the same. Every letter that indicts you has a twin where I'm accused. And I wrote it, God, I wrote it, just too late to be of use. Now I hold the finished letters in a hand with nowhere to send. Every word perfectly written, every sentence has its end. But the address never answers, and the door no longer stands. Letters I never sent, words I never meant to hold. Letters I never sent, stories that were never told. Every truth I carefully folded, every feeling conversations that we never had, the ones that might have helped us or at least not hurt as bad. The exit that we took was not the only door around, but silence made the distance feel permanent and loud. I wrote the letter saying I should have stayed that night, instead of choosing pride when what we needed was the fight. The honest kind, the healing kind that builds. Instead I left the room and let the quiet fill. What should have been a bridge between two beating hearts became the canyon where we slowly grew apart. Two people holding letters they were scared to send, learning truth too late to start again. The last letter is the shortest, only 3 lines on the page. It says I hope you will, I hope you found the morning, I hope you knew I cared. Letters I never sent, words I never meant to hold. Letters I never sent, stories that were never told. Every truth I carefully folded, every feeling left unread. Letters I never sent, now I read them here instead. Echo through the empty space. There is a drawer inside me where the unsent letters live, and today, for the first time, I opened it and read them, not to you, to me. I gave you the parts of me nobody else had seen, handed you the keys to every room between. Thought I read the chapter, thought I knew the page, didn't see the ending coming from that stage. You were patience like a costume, wore sincerity like skin. I was reading all the signals and you wrote them all for him. Every word was architected, every gesture was a play. I was living in a story, you were writing every day. The warmth I thought was genuine was calculated heat. You knew exactly where to stand to keep me incomplete, and I believed it. God, I believed it. Down to every syllable, every silence you constructed, I made into a miracle. Something started shifting in the architecture of your care. The exits were too polished and the answer's never there. I started reading backwards every word you'd ever said, and the cold truth hit me like a weight dropped on my head. Cold truth, finally see it clear. Cold truth was hiding in everywhere. Every wonk you gave me had a motive. Every word you said was just a token. Cold truth, you never let me in. Cold truth, it was fear, not genuine. I handed you my trust like it was nothing. Now I'm taking back everything and then some. I remember how you listened like my words were made of gold. Now I understand the listening was just intelligence being sold. You were mapping every weakness, every fear I brought to light, filing them for later, for the moment felt right. And the moment came, didn't it? And used every single one. Every vulnerable melody I offered became the ammunition and the gun. I don't say this broken, I say this clear right now. The person I was trusting was a performance and a vow you never made. Let me lay it out without the drama and the noise. You curated every signal, every angle, every poise. The intimacy was a strategy, the closeness was a tool. And the cruelest part of all of it, I wasn't even the fool, I was the target. Carefully selected, carefully kept, close enough to harvest from, far enough to intercept any real connection that might make the plan too complicated. But you kept it warm enough to hold, cold enough to be calculated. I'm not angry at the version of myself that chose to trust. Trusting is the only way to live, and live I must. But I have tried every lesson that this chapter had to give, and I rebuilt reflection of reality I so carefully made, built around your borrowed warmth and your manufactured care. But I'm the one still standing, and you're just not there. Cold truth, I finally see clear. Cold truth was hiding everywhere. Everyone you gave me had a motive. Every word you said was just a token. Cold truth, you never let me in. Cold truth, it was theater, not genuine. I handed you my trust like it was nothing. Now I'm taking back everything and then some. Taking back every piece. Taking back my me. Taking back every time I waste mine. The cold truth set me free this time. The cold truth hurt. The cold truth healed. The cold truth showed me what was always real, not you, me, standing here, finally free. There's a photograph I never deleted, buried 3 folders deep. Not because I look at it, but because I cannot keep myself from knowing it is there, like a letter never sent. A record of a season that I still don't understand. When you had a laugh that rearranged things, had a way of filling rooms, had a presence that made ordinary evenings feel like something rare and bloom. And I was there, I was right there, and somehow still I missed the last time that it was the last time before it all dismissed. In the silence, in the distance, into who we became. 2 people with a history and different roads to claim. Now the city holds your outline in the places that we knew. Every street a quiet sentence that begins and ends with you. I don't say that with possession, I say it with the weight of someone who loved fully just a little much too late. Echoes of us in every room. Echoes of us like afternoon. The kind of light that doesn't last, but leaves its warmth inside the past. Echoes of us, I hear them still. Echoes of us, I probably will, long after the chapter found its close. You're in the spaces nobody knows. Still echoing, still echoing, still soft and beautiful and gone. Still echoing, still echoing, somehow still carrying us on. I heard your name in conversation, felt the old familiar pull, like a tide that doesn't ask permission, just arrives and fills you full of everything you thought was settled, everything you thought was stored. Turns out grief for living people has a way of being ignored until it isn't. Until one evening, something ordinary breaks the seal, and you're sitting with the whole of it more suddenly than real. I don't think that it was wasted, not a single borrowed hour. Every moment that we shared was its own and had its power. And the power doesn't die when the people drift apart. Some loves don't end in endings, they just live inside the heart. Quietly, keeping nothing, just existing, just the warmth of 2 people who were real once in each other's world. Now the city holds your outline in the places that we knew. Every street a quiet sentence that begins and ends with you. I don't say that with possession, I say it with the weight of someone who loved fully just a little much too late. Echoes of us in every room. Echoes of us like afternoon. The kind of light that doesn't last, but leaves its warmth inside the past. Echoes of us, I hear them still. Echoes of us, I probably will, long after the chapter found its close. You're in the spaces nobody knows. Still echoing, still echoing, still soft and beautiful and gone. Still echoing, somehow still carrying us on. I wanna be honest about what memory does to a person.
It edits out the friction, and it keeps what felt the worthiest. So when I think of you, it isn't complicated anymore. It's just the laugh, the warmth, the way you stood inside a door. Like you belonged in every space you occupied completely. And I was just the lucky one who got to witness it briefly. I know we weren't forever, I think somewhere I always knew. Some connections are for seasons, and that season was for you. To teach me what it felt like to be fully seen and known. To show me what I wanted so I'd recognize it when it's shown again. Somewhere, someday by someone new. But tonight inside this quiet, there's still only echoes of you. I hope you found the morning that you always said you would. I hope the life beside you feels as warm as ours once could. I hold no claim upon you, just a quiet gratitude for every echo that you left me, every beautiful residue of what we were. Briefly, completely, echoes of us in every room, echoes of us like afternoon, the kind of light that doesn't last, but leaves its warmth inside the past. Echoes of us, I hear them still, echoes of us, I probably will, long after the chapter found its close. You're in the spaces nobody knows, still echoing, still echoing, still soft and beautiful and gone, still echoing, somehow still carrying us on, carrying on, not with sadness, just with song. The echo of a love that was still beautiful because it was. I still find you in the strangest places, coffee shops and certain songs, not with longing anymore, just with gratitude. You existed in my world that we echoed. I thought it was just living, I thought that's how it was. I didn't see the sacrifice hidden underneath the love. I remember worn out shoes you wore 3 seasons past their time, while mine were always new, and I never read the sign. I remember dinner tables where your plate was always less, and you called it not being hungry, but I understand it now, I guess. The overtime in winter, the second job in spring, every tired face at evening was the price of everything. You never held it over me, you never made it known, you just quietly kept giving what you had and what you'd sown into every morning, into every prayer. The unbreakable promise that you'd always be there. Now I'm standing where you stood, with the bills and with the weight. Now I finally understand what it costs to make it safe for someone else before yourself, for love before the rest. How did you carry all of that and never once protest? Unbreakable promise, you kept everyone, from the very first morning to everything done. You wore down your hands so mine could stay whole. You carried the weight so I'd never be cold. Unbreakable promise, written not in ink,
There were times I was ungrateful, times I didn't see, times I took the safety of your love so carelessly. I argued about nothing while you were holding everything. I was chasing small rebellions while you were chasing better springs. For me, always for me. Every late night, every call, every worry worn in silence. Every time you gave your all in the hands that used to hold me when the world felt cold and vast. Are the same hands that built the future from a present that was asking too much to last. But you lasted, God, you lasted through the seasons and the strain, through the losses and the setbacks, through the joy and through the pain.
Now I'm standing where you stood, with the bills and with the weight. Now I finally understand what it costs to make it safe for someone else before yourself, for love before the rest. How did you carry all of that and never once protest? Unbreakable promise, you kept everyone from the very first morning to everything done. You wore down your hands so mine could stay whole. You carried the weight so I'd never be cold. Unbreakable promise, written not in ink, but in every single sacrifice. Before I think to even notice, to even say thank you for building me day by day.
I wanna speak to every parent carrying a quiet war, every soul who gave their children what they never had before, who swallowed down the struggle so their kids could sleep at night, who never let the darkness show so mornings could feel bright. You are the unsung architecture of the lives we lead. Every dream we ever chased was planted as your seed. I see you now, I see the cost, I see what it required. Every gray hair is a chapter, every scar is something higher, to protect the ones you love more than you loved your own comfort, more than rest, more than relief, more than anything that mattered. I carry you inside the way I rise and face the day. The unbreakable promise lives in everything I say and do and choose and build because of you.
I wish I'd said it sooner, I wish I'd seen it clear, when you were still beside me, when you were still here. Or if you're still beside me, hear me say it now. Every single thing I am is your unbreakable vow, fulfilled in me. Unbreakable promise, you kept everyone from the very first morning to everything done. You wore down your hands so mine could stay whole. You carried the weight so I'd never be cold. Unbreakable promise, written not in ink, but in every single sacrifice. Before I think to even notice, to even say thank you for building me day by day. Thank you for the mornings, thank you for the cost, thank you for the promise that was never once lost. I didn't understand the weight you carry without sound. Now I carry it with pride because of what you found in me before I found it in myself. The unbreakable promise was always love. I counted you among the ones I walked through fire for. Gave you access to the version nobody else was shown before. Spoke your name with loyalty, defended what you claimed. Never once imagined you were playing a different game.
I remember how you celebrated, just a half a second slow, just enough to catch it if you knew what signs to know. The congratulations landed slightly off in weight, like a door that's almost closing, just a fraction short of straight. And I filed it, didn't speak, it gave the benefit of doubt, but the pattern kept on building till I couldn't cancel out the signs behind the milestones, advice that led me wrong. The way you plant a seed of doubt, then smile the whole day long. You were fluent in my insecurities, you studied everyone, then casually inserted them in conversations done so naturally, so friendly, that I thanked you for the blade. I was bleeding from your wisdom and the cuts were self-displayed. I kept looking for the enemy outside the gate, outside the wall. Never once considered that the enemy made the call. Then my phone sat at my table, knew my plans before they fall. The enemy was always the closest one of all. Enemy in my circle, wearing loyalty like a code. Enemy in my circle, learning everything I wrote. Every dream I ever shared was intelligence to you. Every vulnerable moment was a weakness to pursue. Enemy in my circle, I finally read the room. Enemy in my circle, your access ends in soon. I don't mourn the revelation on myself with it instead. The enemy in my circle is now outside it, dead. See, the thing about a hidden enemy is the hiding takes a toll. Eventually the mask develops, hairline cracks inside the role. I started seeing celebrations for my failures in your eyes. Started seeing real relief dressed up in sympathies and lies. When I struggled, you were present with a speed that felt too right. When I won, you were distracted, couldn't hold the joy despite all the practice you had gathered, playing friend across the years. Even joy requires muscle that your envy couldn't clear. And the mutual connection started bringing things to light. Little comments you've been making in my absence in the night, subtle undermining package this concern for my direction, watering the seeds of doubt in everyone's perception. I kept looking for the enemy outside the gate, outside the wall. Never once considered that the enemy made the call. To my phone sat at my table, knew my plans before they fall. The enemy was always the closest one of all. Enemy in my circle, wearing loyalty like a code. Enemy in my circle, learning everything I wrote. Every dream I ever shared was intelligence to you. Every vulnerable moment was a weakness to pursue. Enemy in my circle, I finally read the room. Enemy in my circle, your access ends in soon. I don't mourn the revelation, I myself with it instead. The enemy in my circle is now outside it, dead. Let me break down what it cost to carry someone in your corner who is quietly collecting every detail as a hoarder of your weaknesses, your plans, your fears, your dreams, your private grief, while performing friendship so convincingly you felt relief every time they were around. You thought, this is my people, but the loyalty was theater and the friendship was deceitful. Dressed in all the right credentials, showed up when it mattered, just enough to stay inside the circle while you scattered your most guarded parts before them like they'd earned the right, while they filed every fragment for the moment in the night when using it would serve them. And that moment always comes. The enemy in your circle is the most expensive one.
I won't say I hate you, that gives you too much space inside the architecture of the life I'm building straight. The truth is you were tuition, expensive but I passed. The lesson that you taught me is the one that's going to last. Enemy in my circle, wearing loyalty like a code. Enemy in my circle, learning everything I wrote. Every dream I ever shared was intelligence to you. Every vulnerable moment was a weakness to pursue. Enemy in my circle, I finally read the room. Enemy in my circle, your access ends right now. I don't mourn the revelation on myself with it instead. The enemy in my circle is now outside it, dead. There was always something restless living underneath my skin, a refusal to accept the ceiling I was given. Not arrogance, just knowing something deeper than a thought, that the life I was was handed at the starting line and told to just be grateful. But gratitude and settling were never interchangeable. Inside the ordinary long enough to know it was never where I belonged. It was just the starting row. Every room that tried to shrink me, every voice that said be still, every system built to average went against my grain and will. I was not designed for standing still, not designed for safe and small. Something in the blueprint always knew I was meant to give it all. There's something worth the giving, to a vision worth the cost, to the version of the future that gets found and never lost. I felt it in the silence, I felt it in the dark. Long before the destination, I already had the spark. Not because they said I could, not because the path was clear, not because the timing was perfect or the vision was without fear, but because something deeper than reason or than doubt kept telling me what I was born for. Before I figured it out, I was born to rise above the compromise, above the average and the safe and the small. Born to answer every impossible call, born to rise, not just survive, born to build a life that keeps me alive, with purpose, with fire, with everything I am. I was never just a footnote in the plan. Born to rise, this is my time. Born to rise, this is my climb. I have watched the ones who settle with a safety like a skin, watch the comfort slowly quiet every fire burning within. And I understand the logic, understand the fear of fall, but the fall is not the worst thing, never rising is the call that haunts you in the evening when the life you chose sits still, and the voice inside keeps asking what it feel like. Use your will to push, to reach, to build something that only you could build, to fill the exact outline only you were made to fill. Nobody else can rise for you, nobody holds your wing, not because they said I could, not because the path was clear, not because the timing was perfect or the vision was without fear, but because something deeper than reason or than doubt kept telling me what I was born for. Before I figured it out, I was born to rise above the compromise, above the average and the safe and the small. Born to sign every impossible call, born to rise, not just survive, born to build a life that keeps me alive, with purpose, with fire, with everything I am. I was never just a footnote in the plan. Born to rise, this is my time. Born to rise, this is my climb. Let me speak to everyone who feels it but won't say it, who carries something enormous but is too afraid to weigh it against the cost of chasing it, the judgment and the doubt. The ones who whisper to themselves what they were made about. In the dark, in the mirror, in the silence between sleep, you already know the vision that your ordinary keeps trying to suppress, trying to make invisible, trying to make small, but it keeps returning, doesn't it? That undeniable call. You were not placed here just to pay the bills and fade. You were placed here for a purpose, and that purpose must be changed. The marriage was a room I lived in, not a life I was designed for. I am grateful for the hunger that kept knocking on the door, reminding me that comfort was a temporary guest, and the life I was intended for required all the rest. I was born to rise above the compromise, above the avarice on the safe and the small. Born to answer every impossible call, born to rise, not just survive, born to build a life that keeps me alive, with purpose, with fire, with everything I am. I was never just a footnote in the plan. Born to rise, this is my time. Born to rise, this is was never just a flaw. It was the compass pointing toward the call, not to somewhere safe, to somewhere real. Born to rise was written in me. You never know it looking at the way I carry on. The smile is not performance, it's just everything I've gone through and kept moving, through and stayed upright, through and rose the morning after every devastating night. I have been the one they left in the middle of the story, not the villain, not the hero, just the one who lost the glory of a version of the future I had carefully designed, only to discover it was only mind to mind. I have trusted the untrustworthy, have loved the unavailable, have given to the ones who treated giving as collectible, have opened every door inside me to the ones who walked straight through, left the rooms a little emptier than before I left them to. And every time I thought this one is the last, this is the break that finally breaks me, this is where I crashed. But the morning always came and I was always there, not unaffected, never unaffected, just still there. It's not that I don't feel it, I feel everything, I feel too much. It's not that I've grown cold, it's that I've grown a different kind of touch. One that can absorb the impact, one that doesn't crumble at the seam. The heart doesn't harden from the breaking, it hardens into something that can dream. Heart made of iron, not cold, just strong. Heart made of iron, built from everything that went wrong. Every break was a layer, every loss was a forge. Every time I was shattered, I came back something more. Heart made of iron, still warm inside the steel. Heart made of iron, teaches you what real feels like when it finally comes, like when it finally stays. Heart made of iron was built through the hardest days. I used to apologize for the walls they said I had, as if the architecture of my survival was something that was sad. As if the person who rebuilt after every demolition should be sorry for the fortress built from years of hard attrition. I don't apologize for iron, I don't apologize for strong. I was soft enough for long enough, and soft enough was wrong. Not because softness is a weakness, softness is a gift, but softness without boundaries only gives the ones who take a lift into your most private places to do damage and depart. So I learned to love with iron, wrapped around a beating heart. It's not that I don't feel it, I feel everything, I feel too much. It's not that I've grown cold, it's that I've grown a different kind of touch. One that can absorb the impact, one that doesn't crumble at the seam. The heart doesn't harden from the breaking, it hardens into something that can dream. Heart made of iron, not cold, just strong. Heart made of iron, built from everything that went wrong. Every break was a layer, every loss was a forge. Every time I was shattered, I came back something more. Heart made of iron, still warm inside the steel. Heart made of iron, teaches you what a real feel. Let me speak to everyone who's been called too much and not enough in the same breath by the same person, and it still wasn't tough enough to make you leave because you loved them past the logic and you stayed inside the damage till the damage became chronic. I know what it is to rebuild when rebuilding feels absurd, when the hurt is so familiar that the healing feels the worst. But the iron in my chest was not installed by comfort or success, it
that was forged by loss and rising stronger from the stress. The iron heart isn't a wall, it's armor that still tries. Still reaching, still believing, still looking in new eyes. I wanna love without the iron, but the iron is what's left after everything that tried to love me straight to death. So I carry it with grace now, wear it like a second skin. The iron doesn't keep love out, it just decides what's let in.
Heart made of iron, not cold, just strong. Heart made of iron, built from everything that went wrong. Every break was a layer, every loss was a forge. Every time I was shattered, I came back something more. Heart made of iron, still warm inside the steel. Heart made of iron, teaches you what real feels like when it finally comes, like when it finally stays. Never know we're looking at the way I carry on, but the heart that's made of iron was made from what was gone. Heart made of iron, still alive. Nobody handed the throne to anyone worth remembering. Every name carved in history bled before the centering. Every crown you've ever seen was paid for in the dark, not in the ceremony, but in the suffering and the scars. They see the elevation, they don't see the climb. They see the finished statue, they don't see the chisel over time. They see the victory moment, they don't see the years. They see the confident arrival, they don't see the blood and tears. I know what the mountain cost because I paid the full amount. Every summit I was climbing had a price beyond the count. The cold mornings nobody witnessed, the failed attempts in empty rooms. The sessions where I had nothing left, but still refused to move out of that room. Not yet, out of that ring, not done. Out of that chapter, not until the crown was finally won. Every scar is a credential, every failure tuition paid. Every dark night of the spirit was the crown being forged and made. You don't get the glory without first earning every grade. No crown without the pain that made it. No crown without pain, no throne without the reign. Every kingdom worth inherited was built through loss and suffering. No crown without the fight, no glory without the night. Every laurel on the victor's head was watered by the tears they shed. This is the cost, this is the price, this is the fire, this is the ice. No crown without pain, and I would pay it all again. I have watched the talented surrender when the process got too long. I have watched the gifted crumble when the road stopped feeling strong. Cause talent without suffering is a blade that never sharpens, and a voice without the struggle is a song that never deepens. The ones who last the longest are not always the most blessed. They are simply the most stubborn in the face of every test. I became the kind of stubborn, not from pride, from understanding. Every crown would whir and comes with suffering and landing hard on floors you didn't plan for, in rooms that feel like cells, in seasons with no signal, in your own private hells, and rising, always rising, because the crown demands it. Every scar is a credential, every failure tuition paid. Every dark night of the spirit was the crown being forged and made. You don't get the glory without first earning every grade. No crown without the pre-grade. No crown without pain, no throne without the reign. Every kingdom worth inherited was built through loss and suffering. No crown without the fight, no glory without the night. Every laurel on the victor's head was watered by the tears
Let me speak to everyone who's somewhere in the middle, where the start feels far behind and the finish is a riddle, where the grind has lost its glamour and the goal feels like a ghost, where you're giving everything you have and it still ain't close. That is exactly where the crown is being constructed. Every doubt you're feeling now is where the gold gets conducted into something permanent, into something no one steals, into the kind of strength that only suffering reveals. The ones who quit here never know how close they actually were. Every exit sign you walk past makes the destination clearer. I'm not special, I am simply someone who refused to let the middle of the story be the ending that I choose. No crown without the pain. That's not a warning, that's an invitation to become what you've been forming.
There will be a moment when the weight becomes the wing, when everything that broke you becomes the gift you bring, when the crown you bled to earn finally rests where it belongs, not on a head that had it easy, on a soul made strong. No crown without pain, no throne without the rain. Every kingdom worth inheriting was built through loss and suffering. No crown without the fight, no glory without the night. Every laurel on the victor's head was watered by the tears they shed. This is the cost, this is the price, this is the fire, this is the ice. No crown without pain, and I will pay it all again. Pay it again, bleed for it again, bleed for it again. Rise never again, the crown was never given. It was forged inside the pain.
The crown is not a symbol of where you arrived, it is the evidence of everything you survived. Wear it, not with pride alone, wear it with the memory of every flaw you rose from to claim the throne.